Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about the books I read in February, and that grand total is 3 and 1 DNF. So yeah, I didn't have a good reading month. It didn't exactly help that I felt ill around about halfway through, and other stuff happened. Like literally, it was the case of like, this happened, and that kind of just derailed me quite a bit. And one of the books I was able to read wasn't even on my TBR for the month. I am currently reading one of the books that was planned for this month, which is Carry On by Ray Morale. I think I'm about 10% of the way through that. So yeah, I wasn't able to get to a lot of what was on my TBR, but I was able to get to 2, so that was good, I guess. But hey ho. So the first book I was able to complete was the Earth's Goods Elevator, which is I think the 6th book, or the 5th book in the series of Unfortunate Events series. This one I gave 3 out of 5 stars. It's not one of my favourites out of the Netflix series. Same with the next one, which is the File Village. I'm probably not going to enjoy that one as much as I've enjoyed the rest either. But it was still a good solid read, and it is another step into completing the series, which is what I want. So yeah, and then the next book I started, and this is also the next book I was finished, which wasn't on my TBR, was Mantras and Minotaurs, because I just wanted something both quick, light-hearted, and this fit the bill, and it also does help towards completing this series as well. There is one more book coming out for this series, but I just don't know when it's coming out. So yeah. So with this one I actually gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And this is kind of just what I needed. It was wholesome. It had lots of sexy in it. This is a part of a monster romance series, and this is following the mother of the 2 kids we have in the first 2 books, and the father of a side character who's best friends with the mother's daughter. I think that's the dynamic. And let's just say I think it's pronounced Alistair. I think it's Alistair. He was such a good character. Like, he was so loving towards I completely forgot what her actual name is. Pam, that's her name. So her name was Pam. And to basically just read off, I just went, surprisingly wholesome and obviously sexy. I don't know what I had in mind when going into this. I had hoped this was a female-female romance with Chai, the Alice's daughter, as one of the main characters. But the main reason I didn't know, because I hadn't actually read the synopsis, I just knew I wanted to read it. That was the reason. But I still found myself enjoying this book. Alistair and Pam was too cute. Pam deserves to be happy too. Yes. And that sneaky mention of the... And yeah, there's a sneaky mention of the I Spy Period series in this book, which Alistair apparently really likes after reading the first book, which is quite funny, to be honest. And apparently Pam has like a little sing scat named Remy, and he is just a bun. Well, not really a bundle. He is a bundle of joy, just hairless joy. The third book, which was the Witch's Heart, which was a Norse mythology series, following Angerboda, who is the mother of Fenrir, Hel, and I'm gonna butcher his name. I always butcher his name. Jumanog, something like that. Basically, the world serpent. He's the serpent who lives in the sea and basically runs around there. And we basically are following how she met Loki, Skadi, how she came to have all 3 of her kids, and how she sets about trying to save them from their fate that comes in Ragnarok, which unfortunately does still come to pass. And I don't know, I just found this, it was really heartbreaking. Even though this was one of the books that I kind of like got stuck with reading when I started going into the slump because I was ill, every time I returned to it, it just kind of made me feel happy when returning to the story. I listened to this one on the video, so this was a lot easier for me to actually follow it, which was nice. So I am glad of what I have read. And then the final book, which was the DNF, was The Saviour's Sister. This was also the book I was reading as I was getting into a slump. And essentially, it is pretty much the first book, but told from the perspective of Layla. And there was nothing wrong with the book. It was just because I've already technically read the story before, even if there was little different bits, because we're following from Layla's perspective as she finds out that her father is trying to kill her, and she is essentially trying to stop all this from happening. She is killing people as well. So yeah, I do still plan to give the Saviour's Army a go, and unless someone tells me that I need to actually finish reading The Saviour's Sister, then I will return to that book. But I just didn't feel the need to continue it at the time, and especially when I was stuck in a slump and I needed to get out of it. So hence why I started reading Carry On. I'm not sure what I make of this book, to be honest. Like I said, I'm only 10% of the way through. But we'll see how that goes. I mean, it is literally 1st of March when we are reading this. So I kind of do need to pick a new TBR. A lot of it is going to be what I set out to read in February. But not mad about that. Okay, and I think a lot of it is also going to be library books because I've got quite a few library books. You'll see that in my next video. And I'm going to stop rambling because I didn't want this to be a long video because I only read 3 books. So thank you very much. See you later, guys.